Welcome into the Conference Carolina Softball Championship here at Tiger River Park in Duncan, South Carolina. It is day 3 and now game 16 of this tournament. 4 teams remain. It is our first elimination contest of the day as the number 3 seed, the Southern Wesleyan Warriors, take on the number 6 seed Chowan Hawks, with the winner advancing to play again for a chance to make the championship game tomorrow. Alongside John Gross, I'm Chris Mangrum. Thanks for tuning in on the Conference Carolina's digital network. John, you actually got to call these two teams earlier in the tournament. What were your observations from that game and what we might see today?
Well, it was a close game. 4-0 lead early on for Southern Wesleyan, but then Chowan scored 3 runs in the 5th. There were no runs the rest of the way. So what I learned in that game is that both of these pitchers can pitch in high-leverage situations, given that was a 1-run game from the 5th inning on. So should be a good battle again today since they're playing 2 days later.
Chloe Smith gets the start in the circle for Southern Wesleyan. Ava Mazzell, who's been setting the table for the Hawks all tournament, she will lead off. Caitlin Springle bats second. Kira Helton hits third. Mackenzie Curry bats fourth. Calliope James fifth. Heidi Kugler sixth. Hope Soria seventh. Lanita Bryson bats eighth. And Alexis Denham is the 9-hitter for the Hawks today. Defensively for SWU, it is Chloe Smith, as mentioned, in the circle. Abby Schreiner behind the plate. Abby Lawson at first. Reagan Fulcher at second base. Megan Ware at third. And Maddie Crouch is at short. We'll get the outfield in just a moment. I'll go ahead and give that to you here. As in the outfield for Southern Wesleyan, Olivia Haig is in left. And the 2-1 misses away 3 balls and a strike. Center fielder Riley Brown and right fielder Marissa Moreland. So 3-1 count here. As John mentioned, these two teams have already played once in this tournament. I believe this is the first rematch we've seen in the tournament so far.
And it was a good game. 4-3 win by Southern Wesleyan on Thursday.
3-2 called strike 3 as Chloe Smith off to a good start here with the first out in the top of the first.
And Mazzell did not look very confident there. That bat started to move, did not fully commit to it, but it was in there for strike 3 as she is fanned.
Next steps in Caitlin Springle for Chowan. The path for the Hawks so far in the tournament. They won an extra inning contest 5-4 over Erskine on the first day of the tournament. A walk-off in extra innings to get out of that single elimination round. Then a loss to the Southern Wesleyan team 4-3. They went to the losers bracket and won 2 games yesterday. Beat King, and then followed that up by beating number 12 Converse to make it to this round. As Caitlin Springle swings and misses.
And yesterday, Chowan had 2 games where they were on the precipice of a run rule win. They won the King game by 7, then against Converse, they were up 7-0, had a chance to win it in 5 innings, but could not do so. Still hung on to win both games, though.
Springle staying alive here. This is Chowan's only their second time ever making this tournament, and here they are in the Final Four with a chance to continue this journey on. And they have played more games than any team left. 4 games already for Chowan coming out of that single elimination round. As Springle swings through and misses, Chloe Smith has 2 strikeouts.
Good start by Smith in the circle, a returning starter for this team, so has a lot of experience. Missed some time this season, hadn't pitched a ton, but in the postseason, she's getting an opportunity to toss. And she's looking good early.
Kira Helton, number 3 hitter, in there for Chowan. Helton had a 3-hit performance yesterday against Converse. Second team all-conference this year.
She's just so consistent offensively. Lefty who's a true triple threat at the plate.
Smith's 2-0. He is called a strike to Helton. Helton has done a great job this year not striking out. She has got over 50 hits for the second consecutive season and 18 multi-hit games. She grounds one up the right side, race to the bag, a dive, and the out is made by Lawson. So a little help on defense for Chloe Smith, who has 2 strikeouts. 1-2-3 inning in the top of the first. SWU will hit next. Bottom of the first inning in this elimination contest. Chowan and Southern Wesleyan meeting for the second time here in the tournament. And after a scoreless first, Mackenzie Curry will go out to the circle as she tries to hold down this Southern Wesleyan lineup. You see it there. Crouch, Fulcher, and Moreland will lead things off for Southern Wesleyan here in the first inning.
Southern Wesleyan's offense has been impressive all season. We've seen glimpses of it this postseason. They haven't been able to really crack it open like they did in the regular season, but still 2-1 so far through 3 games.
We gave you the path for Chowan. How about how Southern Wesleyan got here? They had a bye in the first round by virtue of getting the number 3 seed, Southwest Division champions. They defeated this Chowan team 4-3 in their first game before losing to Mount Olive 5-3. And we just saw Mount Olive advance to the championship game with yet another upset win over number 1 seed Francis Marion. So Mount Olive to the title game, and Southern Wesleyan after that loss to the Trojans dropped down into the losers bracket and took care of Young Harris yesterday 3-2 to advance to this game. Kind of a knack for close games here, John, as Southern Wesleyan, 3 games here at the tournament decided by a total of 4 runs so far.
And that's something that I think will benefit them in this game, and if they do win this game moving forward, the fact that they've played in those close games and they found a way to win 2 of those 3.
Excuse me, swing. And a nice job there by Mazzell to run in and get the catch out of the air. 1 down.
You are excused.
It wasn't me. I wasn't the swing, the batter there, but I will take it. Here's Reagan Fulcher. And Fulcher's had a nice tournament, a couple hits against Young Harris yesterday, including a double. An all-conference at-large performer.
Hitting 3 for last 4 games, and diving into this offense a little bit more. Again, the numbers haven't been there in the postseason, but in the regular season, 3rd in the conference in runs, 4th in batting average, and 2nd in home runs. That is despite them losing their top 2 home run hitters from last season. So there's a lot of pop in this lineup, some real offensive talent.
Alongside with that, the pitching for Southern Wesleyan has been so good. They've got several players with, 5, 6 pitchers with less than 3 ERAs, so they're very balanced. And as we mentioned during break, Chloe Smith, who's starting for Southern Wesleyan, hasn't even pitched in this tournament yet. She gets the ball today. Fulcher sends this out to left field. And that is a home run for Reagan Fulcher. We were just talking about the limited home runs here in the tournament, and Reagan Fulcher gives Southern Wesleyan an early lead.
Well, the SWU team, second in the conference in home runs. Fulcher, just her third of the season. She's not the usual party. It's typically Moreland who's on deck, but able to send it out of the ballpark and give her team an early lead in the first.
It's Abby Rutledge, it is Mackenzie Curry in the circle, as we've seen Junior Bailey's tendency to announce one pitcher and swap to another. So Mackenzie Curry does get she throws the first pitch anyways of the game and gives up that first run. The rest of the defense for the Hawks today, the catcher is Lanita Bryson. First base, Hope Soria. Second base, Ava Mazel. At short, Heidi Kugler and Caitlin Springle at third. We'll get the outfield after this pitch. And in there for a strike. Rest of the fielders for Chowan, Alexis Denham in left. Calliope James has been really good in center, and Kira Helton out in right. As Marissa Moreland, who leads the team, and homers in the box now.
We saw Moreland leave the ballpark earlier this tournament, actually. So good home run power. She now has 8 long balls this season.
Yeah, against this Chowan team.
Yes.
Close pitch there, misses 3-1.
Always interested to see how a pitcher responds after giving up a home run, especially this early in a game of this magnitude. A walk here would be tough for Curry.
And battling back here to push it full. Marissa Moreland at the plate. Rebecca Lamb, the DP, on deck. SWU has had a really nice year. 3-2. And there is ball 4, so a second runner reaches in a row here in the first inning. But this SWU team, according to the KPI standings, they are a top 50 team in the country. And they're in the running for an at-large bid, John. Obviously, they want to win as many as they can to kind of strengthen their case, but they've got a real shot, even if they don't win this tournament, of making the NCAA.
They do, which speaks volumes to the job that this coaching staff led by Clay Artieser has done to elevate this program. I mean, when he took over, they were in a really rough spot. Got there, they won just 5 games in the first year, 21 wins second season, 30 wins last year, and they have surpassed that total this season. So it's really impressive to see how good they've been, both at bat and in the circle. With you touched on it before, just how deep they are as a pitching staff. I'm very impressed with what this SWU team has done this season.
So after a visit to the circle there by Junior Bailey, we'll see Rebecca Lamb, the DP for the Warriors. Runner on first, 1 out. And 1-0. Rebecca Lamb with a hit in each of her last 2 games. Had an RBI yesterday against Young Harris, and an important one, as it was a 3-2 win for Chowan over their division rival. And 1-0 spoiled foul.
Lamb with a DP spot, batting .295 this season. She's been another key piece of this very good offense.
1-1 high. Here's a steal attempt and a stolen base for Marissa Moreland. SWU playing a little bit of Chowan's game.
Yes,
there,
that's a little taste of their own medicine. Chowan, if you've not seen them play, they are so aggressive in the bases. Second nationally in terms of stolen bags this year. But Southern Wesleyan showing that they can move in the bases as well with the Moreland stolen base.
So a runner in scoring position here as SWU's trying to make another run come across here in the bottom of the first, give a little breathing room here early in the game. I suppose in our last game, John, the really fantastic game between Mount Olive and Francis Marion, it took a little while, but here we've got a run on the board in the first.
It did take a bit. That 1-0 game is that misses inside. What a game that was. And in case you did not have the chance to watch it, Mount Olive pulled off the upset, came away with a 1-0 victory against Francis Marion. And Francis Marion tried to send a runner home from third in a wild play where there was an error made on a flip, and then the tag was applied at third base to end the game.
So it appears that Chowan is going to go ahead and make a pitching change here. As we mentioned, Abby Rutledge was listed as the starter originally, and in fact, it's actually going to be a completely different pitcher here, Emily Fowler. So Rutledge listed as the starter. Curry gets the last-minute start, and now Emily Fowler will get a chance at the circle here, John.
So Fowler, she's been strong in the postseason. I've been impressed with her. I think she's been one of the better pitchers that we've seen in this postseason. Yesterday against Converse, allowed just 1 earned run in 5 innings, 4 Ks, and 2 walks. So I've liked what I've seen so far from Fowler. This will be now her 4th appearance already of the postseason.
Got it. So 35 comes DP and 10 goes into
So Fowler actually pitched against this SWU team earlier in the tournament, 3 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs. She took the loss in that 4-3 win for SWU.
But she still gave her team a shot.
Yeah.
And I think as a pitcher, that's all that you can be asked to do. Give your team an opportunity to win the game, especially against a team with an offense like what Southern Wesleyan has, to hold them to just 4 runs. I also like how her team was able to bounce back. They gave up, similar to this, they gave up an early home run to Marissa Moreland, actually hit it. And then they were able to battle back a little later. Still lost, still came up short, but they hung tough the rest of the way.
Chloe Smith in the box for SWU here, and 2 on, 1 out. First pitch from Fowler.
And I do wonder if this is a regular season game, does Junior Bailey go to the bullpen as quickly as he did? I think the answer is probably not, but this is an elimination game. So Curry got the start. If she doesn't have it, you can't mess around and keep her in there. So they go to Fowler early on in this game.
1-0 right there for a strike. What was interesting is this same thing happened against Erskine when Chowan played against Erskine in that first round. Rutledge was named as the starter. They swapped in Curry, and she got 1 out, and they removed her for Abby Rutledge at that point. So we have seen the tendency for Bailey, as that's a great job behind the plate there by Schreiner, or by Bryson, I should say, to make that catch to keep the runners at their bases. But we have seen Bailey have that tendency to make changes early.
And it was a similar story, right? Against Erskine, she pitched a third of an inning and gave up 2 runs. So Junior Bailey said, we have to make a change. And he's done the same thing here in this elimination game.
2-1. Smith hit hard out the center, and it's off. Out of here. A 3-run shot for Chloe Smith. 2 home runs in the inning for Southern Wesleyan, and here's the offense we've been expecting to see all weekend.
It took until Saturday, but hey, better late than never. 4 runs in this first inning, just 1 out along the way, and it's the second home run of the inning. And how about Chloe Smith, the two-way standout for Southern Wesleyan? She's the starting pitcher, and she helps out her own cause by leaving the yard to dead center.
Home run number 4 of the season for Smith. And we have really not seen a team that I can recall, John, in this tournament jump out to such a big lead in the first inning.
No, a lot of these games have kind of been filling out processes early, but this game, Southern Wesleyan knows what to expect from Chowan. These teams played each other 2 days ago, and the Warriors out in front early. And, we spoke to Clay Arties earlier this week. He said Chloe Smith is somebody who should probably be hitting 10 or more home runs in a season. So she's not quite there, but she does show the home run power.
Olivia Haig steps in, just still only one out in this first inning as SWU has jumped all over the Hawks here 4-0 in the bottom of the first. A reminder that this is an elimination game. The loser will see their season end, at least their regular season end. Chowan certainly as being the number 6 seed, not mentioned, of course, in those region rankings. So likely their season would come to an end. As we mentioned earlier, SWU's got a chance, even with a loss here, to make the NCAA regional. But the winner of this game will turn around and play again. As soon as this one's done, they'll get the field ready, and they'll take on the top-ranked Francis Marion Patriots, who were upset earlier this morning.
So a lot in the line here. Huge game in the Conference Carolinas tournament.
2-1, another fly ball, hit pretty well, but caught in center field by James. 2 outs.
So Haig retired. She's another one of those players who has impressed me. She got the start earlier in this postseason, put together a really good outing in the circle. A lot of players on this Southern Wesleyan team are two-way players, which is always very impressive to me when you can step into the box and be a dangerous hitter and also be dominant in the circle.
Abby Schreiner. First pitch swing and a pop-up. Shallow left. Long run out there for Denham, but she gets there. But Southern Wesleyan jumps all over Chowan in the first inning. 4 runs, including 2 long balls, a 3-run shot for Chloe Smith, and the Warriors lead 4-0 heading to the second. In Conference Carolinas, we work hard to help build champions in body, mind, and soul. We are proud of our tradition, and we are committed to taking it to an even higher level in the years to come. Please visit conferencecarolinas.com to learn more about Conference Carolinas and all our amazing member institutions. 2 of those institutions going at it here as Southern Wesleyan, a 4 spot in the first. Some breathing room for pitcher Emily Fowler. Or Chloe Smith, rather. My apologies.
Chloe Smith has to be feeling good about herself right now, Chris. Just had a 3-run bomb to make it 4-0.
4-5-6 here for Chowan in the second. Mackenzie Curry, Calliope James, Heidi Kugler. In looking at some of the games that Chowan has played in this tournament, 5 runs in the first game, 3 in the second. But as you said, John, once they got in that loser's bracket, that's where the offense started coming. We know this team's capable of potentially getting a few and making this interesting down the road.
Yes. Yesterday for Chowan, 17 runs across 2 games, the most runs they've scored across consecutive games all season. 10 against King, 7 against Converse. So, yes, this offense is capable. And they also play a style that is difficult to defend. Small ball, a lot of bunts. A lot of stolen bases. You're not going to see Chowan hit 2 home runs in an inning like Southern Wesleyan just did. They've only hit 4 all season. But they put a lot of pressure on the defense, but they're best when they have base runners.
And that is a foul ball off the bat of Mackenzie Curry, who drew the start. and was removed there in the first inning after she gave up one of those home runs. A solo shot to Reagan Fulcher. And that one skips in low. 3-2. As at this point, Chowan's looking for base runners.
Yes.
You know, Chowan is capable of a big inning. We saw it yesterday. But going to start trying to chip away at this thing and see if they can steady the ship in this elimination contest. And that's a good start with a walk.
That's what they need because, again, they thrive on stolen bases. They thrive on laying down bunts. They put a lot of pressure on the defense. I think it's an advantage for Southern Wesleyan that they just played against Chowan 2 days ago, so they know what to expect. I kind of likened it yesterday to like playing the triple option in football. Not everyone plays against it, so it's difficult once you get practice against it, simulate it, but until you actually face it, you don't really get acclimated to it. So the fact that they played 2 days ago against Chowan, they know what to expect today.
Another thing you will see Coach Bailey do a lot is a lot of changes. And we've got a pinch runner here in for Mackenzie Curry. That's Riley Goff. So it's Calliope James at the plate. And she's had a really solid tournament, 5 hits so far. She's fallen behind here 0-2.
Also has, I think, my favorite name of the tournament.
0-2 misses away. I'm a little surprised, John, that Tallulah Sivanasiva is not your favorite name.
Oh, that is a good one.
But,
you know what?
But this Calliope also a solid.
Yes,
solid
okay,
name.
I'll say a tie for first.
Of course, Sivanasiva plays for Francis Marion. We'll see her in our next game. 1-2. Runner goes, throw down, and there's stolen base number 1 for Chowan on the day.
It's the first, and I can almost guarantee you it will not be the last.
Yes. I'll tell you what, some really interesting numbers for Chowan this year. They have 13 games this year where they've stolen 6 bases or more. As James is going to reach here, and everybody is safe. And that right there is a great example of the pressure that Chowan's offense will put on a defense.
Exactly. They just put balls into play. They make you think about it. When they have runners on, they're active. So as an infielder, you have to be keenly aware as to what's going on. And sometimes you overthink, and you have mishaps like that. So it's officially actually scored as a hit. It's an infield single. But either way.
Yeah, I like that. I like that ruling there. Single for James. Another hit for her. She's having an all-tournament type performance this week. And there she goes. Stolen base number 2 as it's cut off, trying to keep the runner at third.
So the Hawks entered with already the most stolen bases in the conference since at least 2012. That's as far back as the single-season team record book goes. They're second nationally with about 3.5 stolen bases per game.
Trying a little squeeze play there. Heidi Kugler in the box.
And if you look at their leading base stealer, Ava Mazel, who struck out to lead off the game, she has more stolen bases than 9 Conference Carolinas teams by herself. 50.
My, they love to run. It's been what's interesting. I mentioned earlier they 13 games with 6 steals or more. They're 12-1 in those games. So something's working, and that is Junior Bailey's style. I asked him when we got to talk. I was like, "Are you recruiting?" And he's like, "Yeah, this is just the way I like to play the game." And that will pay off as a single. Heidi Kugler into left. Chowan is going to start chipping away at this thing. Still no outs in the second.
RBI single. So Kugler coming through, and this is Chowan epitomized with the walk to lead things off, stolen base. They put so much pressure on you, and then these singles start coming.
So Hope Soria. Here comes a squeeze bunt, but it is foul.
And Junior Bailey, with this being his philosophy and how he recruits, if you think about it, it's probably a bit easier. You could find more speedy players, some lefty slappers, than you could, a couple of home run hitters. Those are at a premium for sure. But there are a lot of quick players out there, so it's a good strategy to try to build your team in that style. And it has worked for Chowan this season, and it's worked ever since he's gotten to Chowan. Back-to-back tournament appearances after not making the tournament before that. They joined the conference in 2019-2020.
Another stolen base attempt. Give it to him as it's cut off once again. Kugler down to second base. And all those extra bases add up over time. And now Chowan with a chance. A hit here makes this a one-run game potentially after giving up 4 in the first. Quite the response here for the Hawks. Easy, I would say, after giving up 2 home runs in the first inning to kind of hang your head, but Chowan has come back with a fight here, likely taking after their head coach, Junior Bailey. And a swing and a miss. That's the first out of the inning.
It's a big strikeout. And one of the reasons why Chowan has been so good this postseason offensively is actually because of the bottom part of the lineup, Soria, Bryce, and Denham. You look at the 2 games yesterday, those 3 went to combined 10 for 14. They were enormous in Chowan's 2 wins when they scored 17 combined runs across the 2 games.
We'll see Bryson step up here, as you alluded to, the bottom of this order. Bryson has a hit in every game in this tournament so far, including a 3-for-3 performance against Converse yesterday.
The bottom of the lineup is producing. Good things happen. You'll get the production from the top, but can you get help from the bottom too?
Again, we see Chowan trying to squeeze in a run here. Bryson does not walk very much, just 6 walks this season. As we see the corners creep in here, expecting bunt, no show here. 2-1.
And that's the thing, when you play against this Chowan team, you have to be prepared for bunts. You're going to come on in, but then sometimes they'll pull back in the bunt and be swinging away, and then you're out of position. So it's tough to defend this team.
Bunt back on, swing and a miss. We've got a runner in. A run down here, and a great decision to go on home, and the runner is safe. Calliope James called safe at home.
Wow. They are so aggressive on the bases, just top-end speed, top to bottom in this lineup. They have plenty of high-level pinch runners as well. And Chowan have this deficit, and still 2 outs to work with.
2-2 count here as Chowan has cut the lead in half. And a great chance to add a third run in the inning.
And from Smith's perspective, you have to pitch without thinking too much about the base runners. Your job should just be to focus on the hitter.
And that will get the run in, and it bounces around. Everybody's safe, 4-3. Chowan with 3 runs here in the top of the second.
I think that the one thing I'm looking for in this game is Chowan's leadoff runners getting on. I don't have the numbers. I'll have to dive deep into them. But when they get a leadoff runner on, they score runs, and that's just the nature of how they play. So they got the leadoff runner on this inning with Curry drawing the walk, and they've excelled ever since then. It goes down as an E4 as Bryson is on base again. She's been so good this postseason.
And we've already seen a pitching change. For Chowan, and now we're going to see the same for SWU here, it appears. Clay RDs are out.
And I did just look. In the 2 games yesterday, Chowan scored a run in all but one inning in which they led off with a base runner. And that trend continues today. So that leadoff batter is pivotal to how this team finds success offensively.
So Chloe Smith, after having a 1-2-3 inning in the first, has gotten in a little trouble here in the second. And a change in the circle. Emily Collins is coming in for SWU to try to take control of the game here. And yeah, very, very good chance we'll see a lot of moving pieces here.
Collins did pitch earlier this tournament, went 6 1/3 against Young Harris, and that win gave up just 2 earned runs, 4 Ks, and 2 walks. And overall this season, good numbers, 2.63 ERA, 8-2 record, and this is her 17th appearance.
All right, a bunt attempt here to start. This is Alexis Denham. And we're hearing some of the changes. Smith to left, Moreland to center, Haig to right. Here's the bunt. Fielded by Collins, throw to first. Safe. Great hustle there by Denham as the pressure continues here from Chowan. Still just 1 out in the inning.
Denham is now 4 for 4 since the start of yesterday's 2 games. She's the 9-hitter who has struggled mightily all season long. I mean, she has a 200 batting average now, but it's only because she was 3 for 3 across 2 games yesterday. Has been hitting in the 100s for most of the season.
So back to the top of the order here. Ava Mazel struck out in the first. And you talked about the pressure that this Chowan team can put on you. Mazel, a big reason for that. Ground ball to third, bobbled, and no play. I'll be honest, John, I did not see this coming after that big bottom of the first for SWU.
No. This is a meltdown defensively for Southern Wesleyan. But again, this is what Chowan does to teams. This is how they play.
So it's ruled a hit for now, but see, there is some thought that that could be reviewed or changed as we have the bases loaded here. And Caitlin Springle is at the plate, but with the bases loaded, more conversation here in the circle.
Well, let's break down how this inning has gone down, right? Started with a walk. We've seen 4 hits as it stands and an error. Again, that's subject to change, but it's nothing fancy. This team does not hit for power at all. They are actually one of the worst teams nationally in terms of slugging percentage. 252 out of 265 in the nation in terms of slugging percentage entering the postseason. So they're not going to, out-slug you. They're not going to hit extra bases, no home runs. It's all just hard hit balls, singles, stolen bases, bunts, and putting pressure on the defense. And Southern Wesleyan has struggled to adjust today. And errors compound, especially when you commit errors like this early on in games. I mean, we saw, Young Harris earlier this tournament at 6 errors? Mm-hmm. Errors are contagious.
So here we go. Caitlin Springle in the box. Has a chance to give Chowan the lead here. And first pitch strike. All right, so they did go back and change that single to an error. It's probably the right call there. Ball and a strike here to Springle. 0 for 1. She struck out back in the first. Ripped, but foul. It's interesting. We've had, this is our second game of the day, John, and we could not have had two more completely different games.
Last game, 1-0. The only run came in the 5th inning. We've seen 7 runs already, and we're not even midway through the second. Ooh.
1-2. Hit out. Caught. Here comes the runner tagging, and we are tied. 4 runs for Southern Wesleyan in the bottom of the first. Chowan grabs 4 right back.
I don't know. I didn't see this coming after the top third of the order was sat down 1-2-3 in a couple minutes back in the first. What a difference an inning makes. So 4 runs ties things up.
And still a runner in scoring position as Kira Helton, the 9th hitter to hit here in the second inning. And how about a double steal? Schreiner still holding the softball. There was nobody at third, it appeared there, John, to take the throw.
And with Helton, the lefty, stepping in, Ware at third was playing in. So she could not get back to cover the bag.
Popped up shallow left field, and a nice sliding catch out there by Crouch. Chowan steals 5 bases in the inning, puts tons of pressure on Southern Wesleyan, and they tie it up at 4. Heading to the bottom of the second. We'll be right back. Bottom of 2, tie game at 4, as it is 8-9-1. Megan Ware, Abby Lawson, Maddie Crouch due up for the Warriors against Emily Collins, second pitcher into the game. Or excuse me, Emily Fowler. We've got 2 Emilys, both wearing 10.
Both pitching.
Both pitching, yes. Both wearing blue.
Yes.
And this one ripped by Ware. Out into left for a base hit. And the offense continues.
Ooh, both of these teams seeing the ball well today.
In case you missed it, bottom of the first inning, Southern Wesleyan scores 4 runs, 2 home runs. One, a solo shot by Reagan Fulcher. The second, a 3-run shot by Chloe Smith. So 3 hits already for SWU. Runner goes. Throw down, close play, but a stolen base from Megan Ware.
Second stolen base for Southern Wesleyan. So not quite at Chowan's level, but
they're trying.
They're trying. They're getting there.
Abby Lawson, the 9-hitter for SWU. Bunt. Gets down, fielded, and safe at first.
Okay, so maybe Clay Artieser did say, okay, let's just do what Chowan's doing.
let's just match their game plan.
Stolen base and then the bunt.
Another hit here for SWU. Perfectly executed bunt there by Lawson.
And I bet you that we'll see Lawson moving at some point in this at-bat here with Crouch stepping in.
Popped up on the first pitch. And a catch made at second base by Mazzell for the first out. That is the second straight time Crouch has popped out to Mazzell at second.
That is why I'm not a betting man. Good battle, though, by Fowler. Able to retire Crouch. And here's Fulcher, who's 1 for 1 at that home run back in the first.
Went deep in the first. Got the scoring started, and it is still going. 4-4, second inning. Runner goes, stops, and goes.
She's daring Bryson to toss it. Bryson does not oblige. Right decision.
The slowest stolen base I've ever seen.
8 total stolen bases between the two teams so far.
It has turned into a track meet.
And a strike call, 1-1.
Now, what I'm really curious about is next game, Francis Marion is really good at preventing stolen bases. So that'll be a fun matchup to watch. Whoever wins this game against Francis Marion.
Ripped out right center, base hit. The runs continue. Ware scores. Lawson scores. 6-4 SWU.
So a 2 RBI base hit. Fulcher, 3 RBI through 2 at-bats. These offenses are absolutely clicking right now.
I would imagine that Alyssa Poston will get the ball for Francis Marion in this next game. Obviously one of the best run preventers as well. So that will be an interesting matchup, but it may just... It'll depend on who can win this shootout first.
Absolutely.
You start thinking about that one.
Oof.
Marissa Moreland, one of 3 players for SWU who has hit a home run in this tournament. Did it against Chowan in SWU's first game. In fact, first at bat.
Yes. Led off the inning with a solo home run. She leads this team in home runs, which, again, SWU last year lost their top 2 home run hitters who accounted for a combined 30 home runs. But here they are a year later, still one of the premier home run hitting teams in the conference.
With Moreland's walk back in the first inning, she's now gotten on base in 15 consecutive games. And Southern Wesleyan is enjoying having her in this top of the order as their offense continues to shine as it has throughout the season. Pop up in the infield. And it's the pitcher, Fowler, who makes the play for the second out.
And Caitlin Springle got a little too close for comfort there. Her and Fowler almost collided as that ball came down.
So with 2 down, runner on. Rebecca Lamb walked and scored on the 3-run shot by Chloe Smith in the first inning. Two straight years for Lamb, hitting over 300 for the Warriors. Ground ball in the infield. Fielded it short, throw over to first in time as Kugler is able to end the inning, but not before. Southern Wesleyan grabs 2 more. Back and forth we go. End of the third, 6-4 Warriors. 2 innings down, 5 to go, and lots of runs. 10 combined between these two squads. 6-4 Southern Wesleyan. 4 runs for SWU in the bottom of the first. Then Chowan came back with 4 of their own in the top of the second. 2 more for the Warriors in the bottom of 2. So lots of runs here. The exact opposite of our game earlier today. In this elimination contest, winner will move on to take on the number 1 seed Francis Marion in the next round. After this game is completed, we'll be down to 3 teams left after starting the week with 12. Whittling it down here with Championship Sunday coming up tomorrow. Mackenzie Curry at bat for Chowan here in the third. She walked and scored. And in fact, she led off this big inning just an inning ago where Chowan sent 9 hitters to the plate. And
this leadoff batter is the metric I'm watching today. How many times can Chowan get the leadoff batter on base? Because dating back to the start of yesterday's 2 games, they've scored at least 1 run in all but 1 inning that they've led off with a base runner.
Ball hit down the line and foul.
So a big test for Collins to get this leadoff batter. And I want to give Collins a shout out. I was driving in today, about to turn into the venue. All of a sudden I see somebody in a SWU jersey run into the middle of the road, and I'm like, what's going on? She goes down, picks up a turtle that was crossing the road, brought it off the road, and saved that turtle's life. So well done, Emily Collins. And now she's pitching in this game. I stopped my car, pulled over to the side so I can see which SWU player it was. I needed to see the number so I can give her a shout-out for saving a turtle.
This one hit out to right. Play it first. That was a diving effort there by Curry. And she did beat it out with a head-first dive there. But she's a little shaken up.
Curry shaken up. It's always tough sliding head first, full speed ahead into first.
I think that's the only way she was beating that out on that
Probably.
hard hit to right field. That was Moreland who, well, actually they've moved it around. Haig is now in right field. So Haig nearly had a 9-3 put out there.
It's one you don't see every day.
So Calliope James at the plate. There's a bunt. It's a good one. Play it first, close again, but an out as James will have a sacrifice bunt. Curry down to second.
So they get the leadoff runner on, and what do? They lay down the bunt, get Curry into scoring position. And now the bottom part of the lineup, which has been so good this weekend, will try to drive in another run.
Heidi Kugler had a hit in that second inning, ended up scoring one of Chowan's 4 runs. What will be really interesting to me is if Chowan can come back and win this game, just to see how far they can go. Mentioned earlier that they are the only team left in the tournament that has played 4 times. So game 5 for them, potentially as many as 8 games could be played by this Chowan team if they make the finals and push it to the, if necessary, game tomorrow in a 4-day period. Pop fly to center field, or shortstop rather, as Kugler is retired for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, that'll be one of the longest runs I could think of. I remember a couple years back, Emmanuel, as the number 10 seed, had to play quite a few games to and made a nice run of this postseason. But 8 is a lot for 4 days.
Yeah, I mean, these teams are used to playing 4 games over a 2-day period. That's
right.
Pretty normal. But to do that in 4 days, Obviously still a long way to go for the Hawks to get there. But the path to get that as many games as possible is, of course, to win that single elimination round, lose that next game, and drop immediately into the loser's bracket and have to work your way through with 2 games a day. They were able to do it yesterday. Fly ball. And that is dropped with a run coming in for Chowan. So add another run to the total for the Hawks here in the third. So Soria is credited with a hit to left center with Mackenzie Curry coming in to score. Now it's a 6-5 game.
Soria was the hero against Erskine. Think about it. If it was not for her hit in that matchup, Chowan is not here right now. They would have lost their first game against the 11 seed Flying Fleet. She comes up big in this game as well.
Lanita Bryson at the plate here, 1-1. With this being a high-scoring game, we're kind of getting into an interesting territory for these two teams because of their records this season when they score a certain number of runs. And specifically, Chowan is 24-0 when they score 4 times this season. So this is a bit rare for them. Have not lost a game in which they've scored 4 or more runs. Southern Wesleyan is 22-0 when they score more than 6.
Oh, well, something has to give.
Something will give today. Lined out, and a base hit for Lanita Bryson. Where was this offense in our first game today?
Look, those two pitchers were dominant, Steen and Walling.
Now a combined 11 hits between these two teams.
11 hits, 11 runs combined as well.
Out here looking like an adult league soft slow pitch game.
Putting
all
up
the runs.
Putting up some big offense right now. And again, it's been the bottom part that's been producing.
Hey, and Alexis Denham takes one off the helmet.
That'll load the bases.
We've entered the portion of the tournament where the press box is getting a little silly, isn't it?
It's always a fun time up here.
They enjoyed your turtle
Great
story
crew
earlier, that's for sure.
Yes. You know, look, I enjoyed seeing that. I mean, it was such a cool thing to see a player like just literally ran through trees. I didn't even see her at first, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, boom, there is Emily Collins running to the middle of the road. I thought at first he was like picking up a baseball glove or something, but it was a turtle. And she brought it over to the side of the road.
So meeting here with the bases loaded and looking like a pitching change.
13.
So Annika McFarland will enter the game to pitch here for SWU. Third pitcher of the day already for the Warriors.
And the good thing for them is they have a lot of depth in the circle. Coach Artizer said she's been a godsend this season, McFarland. Keeps getting better and better. And he also, this is really high praise, he feels that she will be the next Olivia Haig, which speaks volumes given how good Haig is for Southern Wesleyan. So McFarland's somebody to watch for years to come, but now she's called upon to try to stop the bleeding in this third.
That is not the first time that they have called on her to do so. Yesterday came in and got the save against Young Harris in a 3-2 game. So back to the top of the order. Ava Mazzell, bases loaded. Two down in the inning as McFarland trying to get out of this jam here and preserve the lead. 2-0.
And talking more about the depth of this pitching staff, SWU has 5 pitchers who have played in 11 or more games this season. So a lot of options for Clay Arteaser.
2-0. And in there for a strike. Mazzell with a couple hits in each of her last 2 games. 4 total yesterday. And a hit by pitch. Second consecutive hit batter ties this game at 6.
Wow, so it's one thing to give up hits, but another thing to give up these free bases, and now we're starting to see those free bases pile up. Back-to-back batters hit. We saw a walk earlier in the second as well, and the runs continue to come across.
So tie game. Base is still loaded for Caitlin Springle. Springle looking for her first hit today. Looking up and down this Chowan lineup, 6 hits by 6 different players.
And all but 2 players have gotten on base. Springle up now, and Helton on deck, the 2 and 3 hitters, 2 of the best hitters on this team. Everyone else has gotten on.
Just give it time with the way this one's going. High fly ball and foul.
Good game. Both teams have just been able to match what the other team
Yes.
does each half inning.
At least for now. Springle popped down towards left. And that is caught for the final out of the top of the third. SWU scores 4. Chowan scores 4. SWU scores 2. Chowan scores 2. Let's see what happens next in the bottom of the third when we return. Yep. Smith leads things off here in the third. A 3-run home run her last time up. Emily Fowler in the circle here for Chowan. Hawks have just battled back each time. They've taken SWU's punch and just returned it.
Yeah, there's that old song, anything you can do, I can do better. In this case, it's anything you can do, I can do exactly the same.
6 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Chowan. 6 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for Southern Wesleyan, which has opened the door for the Hawks to get this tied right back up. These teams did not play in the regular season against one another. Their first meeting coming here in the tournament. Of course, that 4-3 win for SWU. SWU leads the all-time series 7-2 and 9 matchups between these two schools. And 2-2 count here.
Yeah, Chowan only joined the conference in 2019-2020, so still relatively new to the league, which continues to expand. Been amazing to see the growth of this conference. Ferrum just joined, Francis Marion, UNC Pembroke joining a couple of years ago. So Conference Carolina, 16 members. Amazing to see the growth in terms of membership, sports, and the continued rise in the level of play.
Full count here to Smith. Yeah, all kinds of the new programs to keep up with. And, of course, we've talked a little bit about women's flag football being a new sport this year, and just all kinds of new in the conference. 3-2. Hit out towards center. And a catch is made for the first out. So Olivia Haig. We have, with SWU at the plate, we have not seen them have an inning where they didn't score yet. So with the first out here, Chowan trying to put up their first 0 of the day. Popped up, foul ground. And a catch in foul territory quickly retires Olivia Haig.
Okay, so 2 quick outs in this third. Fowler going right at these hitters, and we'll see if Abby Schreiner can get something going or if we'll have a 1-2-3 inning.
Fowler has retired 4 in a row. And right there, 4 strike 1. Abby Schreiner, a member of the second team all-conference as a catcher. An impressive 19-game on-base streak coming in for Schreiner into this one. Oh, 2. And fouled off to stay alive. Of course, the winner of this one will play Francis Marion later today. And the interesting thing, John, I'm sure you picked this up too in looking, is that each of these 3 teams outside of Francis Marion has earned a win against the Patriots in the regular season.
Yes, and I think that shows just how good these teams are. This is not a fluke that these teams are at this point of the year. They are good squads. And I also am very curious to see how Francis Marion comes out next game.
Yes.
I think that could be one of those games where they put up a ton of runs. And clearly, Chowan and Southern Wesleyan, whichever team wins this game, has shown that team can score a lot of runs too. But I do think we'll see a pretty high score in Francis Marion offense later today after the loss.
And Schreiner rung up a 1-2-3 inning. First time the Hawks have been able to keep the Warriors off the scoreboard. And we head to the 4th, tied at 6. Champions in Body, Mind, and Soul is about the development of the whole student-athlete. In Conference Carolinas, we have a commitment to excellence in all aspects of the championship experience. Make sure to visit conferencecarolinas.com to learn more about Conference Carolinas. Elimination game, 3 innings down, tied up at 6 between Chowan and Southern Wesleyan. Trying to keep their tournament hopes alive. Winner will advance to play Francis Marion in a game right after this one. With the winner of that earning a spot in the championship game against Mount Olive, who defeated the Patriots 1-0 in a pitcher's duel earlier this morning. The number 7 seed, Mount Olive, to the championship game in a tournament, John, that has been all about the upsets.
Yes, that first day we had 4 upsets on one day alone. And the upset trend has continued on to semifinal Saturday.
So Kira Helton leads things off here in the 4th. 0 for 2. Helton also a member of the second team all-conference team that was put out earlier this week. I mentioned that both of these teams, whoever it is that goes on to face Francis Marion, have beaten the Patriots this year. This one hit up the line. And a single for Kira Helton up the first base line is a good start for Chowan here in the 4th.
So there you go. Another base runner getting on. They've scored both innings today when they lead off with a base runner. All but one inning in the last 2 days. When they lead off with a base runner, they've scored.
Mackenzie Curry at the plate takes a strike. So back to the whole Francis Marion thing. We don't yet know who's going to face the Patriots, but for Chowan, it was their first win ever against Francis Marion, as that is an out at second base. Kira Helton tried to steal second, but a great throw by Schreiner.
Abby Schreiner, somebody who did not catch at her junior college before transferring in this season to Southern Wesleyan, has developed into a very nice catcher. Clay Artieser says she's without a doubt the best catcher of the conference. She has her hands full today with this Chowan team that's so active in the bases, but for the first time today, she is able to throw at a base runner.
So 2-1 makes it now 2-2 to Curry. Going back to the catcher comment, I think probably the one other player that might have claim to that is Chloe Locklear from UNCP, who got first team all-conference. We only got to see her play one game in this tournament, which was one of the early shockers of the tournament, with UNCP dropping to Converse.
Yeah, I think you could look at Locklear, especially some of those offensive numbers. They're eye-popping. So she did get first team all-conference. Schreiner got second team all-conference. Either way, two talented catchers, and there's a strikeout.
Might we see back-to-back scoreless innings? 2 down, Calliope James has scored a run in this game, also with a hit.
Well, let's not forget, Chowan has followed everything that Southern Wesleyan's done. So a scoreless inning would be keeping up with that trend.
James takes a strike on the inner half. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bottom of the order for Chowan, starting here with James in the 5 spot. 5 through 9, each with a hit in this game. As James rolls one out to second, Fulcher on to first, and only 3 hitters come to the plate for both teams in their most recent half innings. We head to the bottom of the 4th, still tied at 6. Bottom of 4, Megan Ware, Abby Lawson, Maddie Crouch. Due up here for SWU. 4 runs in the first for the Warriors, 2 in the second. And they've been held off the board for the first time. In the third, they'll try to get back on the scoreboard here. The last time Megan Ware led off an inning, SWU did grab a couple runs back in the second. A leadoff hit for Ware got the inning started.
And as we now move past the midway point of this game, just to, again, recap what went down, Southern Wesleyan, the 4 runs in the first seemed like they were kind of smooth sailing, especially after also having a 1-2-3 in the top of the first defensively. But Chowan responded. SWU scored 2 more. Chowan scored 2 more. So these teams have gone blow for blow in this game as they battle.
How about another hit for Megan Ware to get things started here in the fourth? Production from the bottom half of the lineup on both sides.
Yes, and Ware, not your typical number 8 hitter. 280 batter, good stick on her shoulders. And she leads things off with her second hit of the day.
Abby Lawson, number 9 hitter for SWU. Popped down the right field line, but foul. She also had a hit last time, scored a run.
And it was this exact same situation. After the single by Ware, she laid down a bunt, ended up beating out the toss for a bunt single.
The game with 12 combined runs, 13 combined hits, 8 stolen bases between the two teams.
Just such a different game than what we saw earlier today. That 1-0 win by Mount Olive.
Good block there by Bryson, 2-1. Fowler brings it, and a swing and a miss, 2-2. You know, in a tournament that has seen a whole lot of upset wins, the one thing that Chowan has not done in this tournament is beat a team ranked higher than them in the tournament. As they have, they've taken care of number 11 Erskine, number 9 King, number 12 Converse. Fell to this Southern Wesleyan team earlier in the tournament, but this would be their first win over a higher-seeded team here at Duncan this weekend.
And that game against Erskine, a game that Chowan had to play catch-up in for most of the matchup. Walked it off in extras.
And a 3-2 walk will now put the 8 and 9 hitters on for the second time in this game with no outs.
So both teams having success at the bottom of the order. And with Crouch stepping up, possibly a situation where she would lay down a bunt to put 2 in scoring position for a couple of bigger bats in Fulcher and Moreland.
Lamb as well.
Yes.
And we may just have another arm coming to the circle here. Pitching changes aplenty for these two teams, as this will be who we originally expected. For Chowan is Abby Rutledge, who has pitched in every game in this tournament that Chowan has played in, is back out there in Chowan's 5th game of the tournament.
And not only has she pitched in all these games, but she has pitched well. The senior veteran pitcher, she's come on in relief and has allowed just 3 earned runs in the total in her 4 outings. 6 1/3 against Erskine, 2.2 against Southern Wesleyan, 3 against King, and 2 against Converse. Yesterday did not allow any runs, but again, a strong appearance, group of appearances for her so far in this postseason. That's 3 earned runs across 14 innings. So, good performance, 1.5 ERA.
Rutledge picked up the win against King yesterday. And she'll come into a big spot here with the top of the order coming up. Maddie Crouch. 2 on, none out. Bunt. Ooh. Foul ball. I thought it might have hit Crouch on the way out, but
It did. I think it got her in the box. So she'll step back in there. But that's the idea. You push over the 2 runners into scoring position and let Fulcher and Moreland try to do some damage and drive them home.
Crouch 0 for 2. See if she can get it down. This time fouled again. So likely to swing away here.
Yeah, big batter here. Rutledge could use a strikeout.
Ripped and through and quickly thrown in to keep the runners at bay. Bases loaded after the hit there from Crouch.
Good piece of hitting by Crouch. Good battle with 2 strikes on her. Able to drive it up the middle into center field and load up the bases for Reagan Fulcher, who has had a monster day so far. The home run of the first, 2 RBI single in the second, and a chance to add to that tally in the fourth.
Runner coming home as that one gets away, and SWU jumps back out in front. That is Megan Ware, who comes in and slides safely, 7-6.
Fulcher took a big hack at that thing and did not hit the bat. Just a complete whiff, but Bryson could not bring it in. So run comes across. Still a chance to drive in some more here for Fulcher.
Fouled off of herself there in the box, 0-2.
She's taking some big hacks, a lot of confidence as she steps into the box, and for good reason. Home run of the first, 2 RBI single in the second as well. So she's seeing it well, although she is facing a different pitcher in Abby Rutledge.
No 2, ground ball, that will do the trick. 1 run is in. Throw comes in quickly, it's cut off. A 2 RBI single for Fulcher. She has 5 RBI on the day.
What a performance by Fulcher. Out of the 2 spot in this lineup, this is already a season high in terms of RBI. Her previous high was 3. She has 5 RBI already, also a career high for her at SWU. So congratulations, Reagan Fulcher. She has a historic day going for her.
And a big moment as well.
Yes.
With the season on the line, at least tournament hopes on the line.
What an inning this has been. Just 4 straight base runners, 3 hits. They just keep the baton moving along. Now to Marissa Moreland.
What's wild is this is kind of out of character for these 2 teams. Not that they can't hit, because they can, but the pitching has been so good for both these teams this year. Just a bit of a surprise that we're looking at a 9-6 game here in the fourth.
That's a great point, especially given some of the big-name arms that we've seen so far in the circle. These hitters have just been unfazed, but then again, a lot of these pitchers have pitched a lot this weekend, so you wonder if fatigue starts to be a factor. That's the challenge of finding success in an event like this.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen in this game alone 3 pitchers on each side for these 2 teams. And remember, the winner of this one has to play again after this against a pretty well-rested Francis Marion pitching staff. we would expect Alyssa Poston to get the start in this next game, and she's only had to throw in one game in this tournament.
Right, and barring anything crazy happening, Poston probably will go the distance in that game because that's just what Francis Marion does. Poston complete games, Walling complete games. That's how they roll. But
2-2.
as you mentioned,
Moreland.
6 combined pitchers already in this game, and we're not even through 4 innings.
So already 3 runs across here for Southern Wesleyan in the bottom of the 4th, and still no outs. Until now. Strike 3 as Moreland watches one for the first out.
Moreland going down looking. You want to see her protect a little bit more there with 2 strikes on her. Anything close, you have to go after it. But Rutledge will take it. Picks up her first strikeout of the game.
Rebecca Lamb, 0 for 1. And hit. So on her way down to first base. 2 on. Still just 1 out in the inning. And Chloe Smith will come to the plate here. Back in the first inning, Smith hit a 3-run home run. We are seeing some changes here. Pinch runners likely coming, at least one. Hayden Williams
Yep, got it. Thank you.
is the pinch runner for Rebecca Lamb, the DP. And now to Smith.
I've been so impressed with how Southern Wesleyan has weathered the storm in this game. Jumping out to 2 separate leads. Chowan comes back, but they're in front again. And this is the benefit of the schedule that they put together in the non-conference. A challenging non-con.
Out to second. Mazel steps on the bag at second. Throw over to first. Not in time. Play at the plate. Got her. So Mazel steps on the bag at second. The throw over to first was late, I believe. And the throw home was the third out. So we're still trying to figure out exactly what happened there, but that is the end of the inning as Southern Wesleyan leads by 3 heading to the 5th. Back for the 5th inning, Southern Wesleyan scores 3 runs there in the bottom of the 4th. Nifty double play turned by Ava Mazel there to end the inning. It actually ended up being a triple play if we were playing 4 outs. The out was made. You saw Mazel step on the bag at second. The call was out at first. They threw on home, tagged the runner out anyways. It looked nice.
It looked cool.
Of course, the 4th one does not count. You can't carry that over into the bottom of the 5th. So 9-6, Southern Wesleyan, and we are getting down to the final innings here.
every time it's happened, like it's frozen.
So Heidi Kugler
I've been battling
at the plate against Annika McFarland. Popped up, foul ground, and the catch is made for the out.
Well, let's see if the trend continues. These innings have mirrored one another. Everything Southern Wesleyan has done, Chowan has done the next half inning. So if that trend were to continue, we should expect to see 3 Chowan runs in this 5th.
Hope Soria at the plate. Called a strike so far on the day for Soria. A 1-for-2 performance with a run and an RBI. There's all kinds of numbers on this box score for these two teams. Just filling it up. Another foul ball. This one out of play.
Well, you look top to bottom, how consistent Chowan has been offensively. Hits galore. Out of the starters, only 2 starters don't have hits. That's the 1 and the 2 hitters. That's it.
And they both have an RBI. Soria pops it up, right side, and the catch is made for the second out.
So a couple of quick outs. Good stuff by McFarland in the circle. Dealing well so far in relief. 3rd pitcher that we've seen for Southern Wesleyan, but she has been the most successful one. Just 1 hit allowed in 2 innings.
4 straight retired by Annika McFarland. And she'll try to put together a 1-2-3 inning here. Lenita Bryson has been on base both times she's come up today. Reached on an error in the 2nd, had a hit in the 3rd. Continuing this trend we have seen for both sides, the bottom of the order coming up big.
Soria 1 for 3, Bryson 1 for 2, Denham 1 for 1. She's gotten on base twice.
And hit out. And that finds some opening there, a 2-out single for Lenita Bryson.
Bryson now 2 for 3. So the bottom part of this lineup just keeps on producing. 4 for 7 overall.
And likely to have a pinch runner here for Lenita Bryson. So it is Lexi Ritchie, freshman, into pinch run for Bryson at first. And here's Alexis Denham, the 9-hitter. And it skips away. Ritchie down to second. As Chowan tries to sneak a run here in the 5th.
It's a big inning for Chowan. You want to get at least something here, given how consistent Southern Wesleyan has been offensively. You have now 7 outs to work with if you're Chowan to make up this 3-run deficit.
A 2-0 count here to the 9-hitter Denham. Again, has been on base both times. And slapped foul, 2-1. Kind of an interesting stance here from Denham. Kind of does, watch her feet as she kind of gets set, moves them around a little bit, timing-wise.
Yeah, true lefty slapper for this Chowan team. Really good speed at the bottom of this lineup. She's been getting on today.
So 2-2 after it's spoiled foul. Denham with one of 5 stolen bases for Chowan today. 3 for Southern Wesleyan. The stolen bases have slowed down a little bit, but the scoring has not. SWU leads this one by 3. Now full. Runner heading over to third. And right on cue, an extra base. That's the pinch runner, Lexi Ritchie.
So an opportunity for Denham here with a 3-2. Now the one area where Denham has really struggled this season is with strikeouts. She entered today with 95 at-bats, struck out in 41 of them. So leads this team by far and away in strikeouts. She'll need to put this one into play.
Popped up left side. And the shortstop makes the play. Crouch in foul ground. And that puts an end to the top of the 5th and an end to our pattern of Chowan matching Southern Wesleyan. So 9-6 as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Bottom of 5, Southern Wesleyan will look to add on to their 3-run lead. Olivia Haig, Abby Schreiner, Megan Ware. Due up for SWU, who has scored in 3 of their 4 innings so far, and not just scored, but scored a bunch. 4 in the first, 2 in the second, 3 in the fourth. Done an exceptional job with 8 hits, a couple home runs. Reagan Fulcher herself has driven in 5 of SWU's 9 runs. 3 belong to Chloe Smith, so those two have 8 between the two of them. Abby Rutledge in the circle for Chowan, as this one is a chopper out to short. Tough play as that one skips in. Kugler couldn't do anything with it.
And this is the SWU offense that we've been waiting to see. All season long, this is what they've looked like. Big numbers offensively, a lot of runs. But in the postseason, that has not been the case for SWU. They scored 4 runs in a win against Chowan, held to 3 runs in a loss against Mount Olive, and then beat Young Harris 3-2 yesterday. So it's been some low-scoring games for them so far, but today, finally breaking out and looking like one of the league's best offenses, which this team certainly is.
So Haig reaches on the error at shortstop. And now a pinch hitter, Morgan Backus, is the hitter here for Schreiner.
Ooh, good
Pitch
snag.
out wide, yeah.
Bryson able to extend and haul it in.
So it is ruled an error as Haig reaches first. 1-2. Hit out towards center. Caught out of the air. Throw back to first. Gets away. Now here goes Haig to second. And she's there.
So good base running by Haig to get back to the bag. James took a bit of a gamble with that toss over to first, and her errant throw allows Haig to advance 60 feet. So this bottom part of the lineup, which has been lighting it up today, Megan Ware, Abby Lawson, will have 2 cracks at it to try to get Southern Wesleyan into double figures.
Ware up with, as you mentioned, John, a great day for her. Talked about both teams hitting all the way up and down the lineup. Both Ware and Lawson with 2 runs scored apiece also. With just getting on in front of the top of the order, and the top of the order doing what they're supposed to do. But Reagan Fulcher doing most of the work. And we're going to have a runner out here for leaving early, I believe. Or, okay, interference. Okay. So that was Haig running to third, interfered with the defender, so she is called out. And Ware reaches on the fielder's choice. 2 down.
Important for Rutledge to get out of this unscathed. Don't want to fall behind by any more than this.
Runner goes, and another stolen base. This time from Megan Ware. That is her second steal today. And now 10 steals combined for both teams.
And these teams are active on the bases. Ware now 12 stolen bases. Pardon me, 13 stolen bases. Leads this team. Such a weapon when you have the ability to steal bases like both of these teams do, especially Chowan. Those bases add up.
Ball hit. Fair ball down the line off the bat of Lawson. Ware will score easily. Double digits for Southern Wesleyan. They lead 10-6. RBI single for Abby Lawson, who's been on all 3 times she's come to the plate today.
This bottom of the order continues to do its thing. 8-9 hitters, Ware and Lawson. Now 4 for 5 today. They've gotten on base at a very high clip, and they are setting this top of the order up very well.
Looking like a pinch runner here for Abby Lawson. Shaylee Roper appears to be the pinch runner. So Roper in at first. It's the top of the order, Maddie Crouch.
Crouch had that single back in the 4th. Productive leadoff batter for this Southern Wesleyan team.
Rutledge brings it. Popped and hit over the first baseman, Soria. Roper heading to third. Close play. Safe at third. And look at Crouch taking second.
These extra bases, they continue to add up, whether it's a stolen base, whether it's a heady decision like that to advance 60 feet. Now 2 more in scoring position, and SWU can add to this lead with Fulcher stepping up in what has been one of the best games of Fulcher's career.
Yeah, 5 driven in, 3 for 3. And Fulcher will have to likely face off against another pitcher, as we'll see yet another pitching change looks like here for Chowan. Southern Wesleyan on the verge of breaking this one open here in the bottom of the 5th. And let's take a break. We've got a new pitcher coming in. We'll tell you more when we come back. All right, new pitcher in the game for Chowan is Callie Tyndall, making her second appearance in the tournament. Threw an inning and a third against Erskine and ended up getting the win with that extra inning victory for the Hawks over the Flying Fleet. And popped up and caught out behind second base. So Fulcher's perfect day at the plate comes to an end. One pitch out there for Tyndall. We head to the sixth. SWU up 4. Top of the sixth, and Chowan only has 6 outs to play with. Their season on the line here. Top of the order, Ava Mazzell, Caitlin Springle, Kira Helton.
That's the good news for them. Top of the order.
Yep.
It's where you want to be lineup-wise right now.
Facing off against Annika McFarland. Third pitcher of the day for SWU. We've seen 7 total pitchers in this game. It's been a bit of a marathon with the high score. Again, a win here in this game will keep one of these teams alive. They'll play Francis Marion in our final game of the day with a spot in the championship game on the line against Mount Olive, the number 7 seed, who has had an impressive run all the way to the championship game, defeating the number 1, 2, and 3 seeds to get there.
Yeah, they've had a tremendous postseason run, playing their best softball right now. They've won now 9 of the last 10 games. So congrats to Mount Olive on this amazing postseason, and it will continue for at least one more game tomorrow.
Mazzell out to left. Settling under it is the left fielder for the first out.
And that's huge. These last 2 innings, Chowan has been kept off the bases in terms of the leadoff batter. That's that statistic that I've been looking at all game long for the Hawks. They're so good when they get the leadoff runner on. Not nearly as good when that leadoff batter does not get on base. And that's the case for most teams, but even more so for this Chowan team, just given how they play with their small ball.
Springle hit by the pitch. And taking a minute there as she heads down to first base. An all-important base runner for Chowan with just 5 outs to play with and 4 runs to get.
Well, if you're the Hawks, you're coming into this inning thinking, okay, down by 4, we don't need everything in this one inning, but we want something. You want to get at least a run, 2 runs. Can you generate some offense? Because you started to go quiet. You had the 4 runs in the second, the 2 runs in the third, have not scored since then.
Pinch runner coming in here for Springle. Juliana Kellogg is the pinch runner for Caitlin Springle.
This is who you want up here. Your all-conference player, Helton. So consistent.
Helton slaps one, left field, and a diving catch made by Smith in left.
Smith has been busy. The big snag by her out there, so 2 outs as Mackenzie Curry settles in, and Southern Wesleyan out away from getting out of this 6th unscathed and headed to the bottom of the inning in a pretty solid position.
So Mackenzie Curry up with 2 outs. You mentioned this earlier, John, but one thing, for Chowan is when they're down, they don't have that long ball in their repertoire to just come right back with one swing.
They do not. Just 4 home runs all season. Mazzell leads them with 2. That's near the bottom nationally in terms of home runs. They're 252nd out of 265 teams nationally in slugging percentage. So if they're going to come back, it'll be bit by bit, not with one swing.
2-1 here to Curry.
But we did see them put up 4 runs in the second, so
Yes.
they can score in bunches despite not having that home run power.
Now 3-1, runner goes, close play and safe. A stolen base for Juliana Kellogg. That is 7 stolen bases today for the Hawks.
And you mentioned earlier they're 12-1 with
Yes.
6 or more stolen bases.
Yep.
So it is rare to see Chowan trailing, but Southern Wesleyan's offense has been able to one-up them today. 10 runs for the Warriors. Now the umpires are going to chat about something. So will they want this looked at? It is the 6th inning. Anything 6th inning or later, they can initiate a challenge. And we will have our first challenge of the tournament. Here we go.
Here we go. Now, we had a few of these last year, John, and I don't think we saw any overturned. Obviously, this one in particular, the angle, we do have the angle on this one in terms of it. We have that one outfield camera shooting right at second base. So, again, challenging the out call at second as Kellogg on the steal.
So the call on the field is safe. They need that video evidence to overturn it. And a quick check will be confirmed. So safe is the call, and this is the first day that we have the challenge system. It's available today and available tomorrow. Coaches get 2 challenges per game. If they use it and get it correct, then they get to retain it. And also, starting in the 6th inning, umpires may initiate a review.
Wonder if that's what happened there.
I
Or if it was a coach.
I didn't see a coach come out of the dugout.
And how about a walk here for Mackenzie Curry? So Chowan's got a little bit of momentum here, 2 on, 2 out. They need to find that big hit, and the player that has come up with many of those big hits in this tournament is walking to the plate in Calliope James.
Yeah, this is a huge spot. You have 2 on, just 1 out to work with. James has looked good this postseason.
She has a hit in 4 of her 5 games played in this tournament. One and 1. 2 hits against Erskine. Had a hit against SWU the first go around with these 2 teams. 2 hits against King yesterday. one low, 2-1. If James is able to reach here, Chowan would bring the tying run to the plate here in the top of the 6th. Now 3-1.
Well, if you're James, you're expecting something good. So a chance to capitalize on it.
3-1 pitch. Ball 4. Bases loaded.
3 free bases this inning. McFarland had been stout all day in the circles since coming on in relief. But this inning has revealed some command issues. The hit by pitch and then 2 walks.
Only, 2 hits given up by McFarland.
Yes.
No runs in a game that's seen plenty of them. McFarland has been stellar, but she's loaded the bases here, and Heidi Kugler has a chance to really do some damage here for the Hawks with 2 down. First pitch called a strike. And here's that theme we've talked about all day, the bottom of the order. Kugler, the 6 hitter, is 1 for 3 with a run and an RBI. Left side, through. 1 run in, 1 base for everyone. A 3-run game now after the RBI single for Kugler.
Okay, good stuff from Chowan. You have to capitalize in a situation like that. Down by 4 runs, bases loaded, and Kugler is able to do so. So at the very least, coming out of this inning, you will have trimmed the deficit by a run. And we will see a pitching change. So you certainly want to add more with Soria stepping in, facing a new pitcher. And this is a very different game than last game, but still anybody's ball game late in the matchup.
We'll take a break, and we'll be right back with more in the top of the 6th. New pitcher for SWU is Bailey Throckmorton, and she will face off with Hope Soria, who has had her fair share of clutch hits in this tournament. Go all the way back to day 1 when Chowan matched up with Erskine. It was Hope Soria in the bottom of the 8th who knocked in the winning run, sent Chowan into the double elimination portion of the tournament, and here they are in the top 4. And she is hit by a pitch. It's a 2-run game. Wait.
Oh.
Wait. They're going to bring her back?
Well, they say it was a foul ball.
Okay, yes. I think that is. Ooh.
Oh.
We're thinking, we just heard that perhaps they're saying that Soria was over the plate when she was hit by the pitch, that it was in the zone. So the umpires are getting together Remember, the review is available.
So that is something that is reviewable. There are 10 different items that are reviewable. One of them is a hit by pitch or not. They can review if the pitch hit a batter, if the batter was entirely in the box, if the batter makes an attempt, and if the batter tried to intentionally get hit. They cannot review if the batter swung or if the pitch was a strike. So this is reviewable, and it will be challenged. And push-ups. Is that Throckmorton out there? No. Fulcher. So this will be our second review. Chowan asking to challenge it. Again, you get 2 challenges per game. And this is one of the items that can be looked at.
Yeah, so you, if you're Chowan, you got to challenge this, right?
At
this
totally.
point of the game, a run is up for grabs here.
You have nothing to lose, and you still have another challenge as well. So if something does pop up later in the game, you can still use that last challenge. And if you get this one right, you keep both challenges. So, yes, great point by our wonderful producer, Tony. The final game was supposed to begin 6 minutes ago. So, that will not happen. There is some potential for some inclement weather, although a source did indicate to me a couple minutes ago that it seems like the storm may be moving north of us. And let's hope that source
Name your source.
continues to be correct. A good journalist never names his sources.
Yeah, it looks like there are some scattered showers in the area, but hopefully it will hold off.
It has gotten cloudy and windy. It's kind of that breeze that you feel before a storm rolls in. So that's a bit ominous. But no rain yet. And it's pretty we've had a good run. Frankly, the weather has been as good the first 2 days, as good weather-wise as I think we've probably ever seen here.
Well,
2 beautiful days.
It's my second year doing this with you, John, and last year was kind of a rude awakening when we showed up on Thursday, and we were supposed to play 8 games, and we played 0 games that day and kicked everything a day. So loving the fact that we're on schedule, maybe even ahead of schedule based on the original bracket. Okay.
So
Okay, so they're communicating with the umpires on the field now about what they've seen on the video review.
So it sounds like the play will be confirmed, and the run will score.
So it's overturned because it was called.
Right, sorry, overturned. Yep, I apologize.
Yep, so the run is going to count here. So Soria is hit by the pitch, and she moves to first. So it is an 10-8 lead for Southern Wesleyan, and the bases are still loaded. 2 outs, and Lenita Bryson has a chance to do some damage here.
So there you go, our first successful challenge of the tournament. That's why we have this challenge system. Umpiring crew and our replay umpire doing a great job adjudicating that, and the call's overturned, so the run scores.
And time asked for by Bryson. 2 for 3 day for the 8-hitter, Lenita Bryson, with a run and an RBI. Ground ball smothered at first. So Chowan does get half of the runs they need there in the top of the 6th. SWU will try to add some insurance when we come back for the bottom of the inning. Bottom of the 6th, SWU leads 10-8. And the Warriors are going to try to grab an extra run here, or two, for some insurance. Marissa Moreland, Rebecca Lamb, Chloe Smith, 3-4-5 for SWU. Hawks grab 2 runs in the top of the 6th to cut it to a 2-run game.
And that's what they needed. Would they have loved to score all 4 runs in that frame? Of course. But you get 2 runs back, you make your life a lot easier.
So 3-0 here to Marissa Moreland. And too tall, a 4-pitch walk. A good start here for Southern Wesleyan's Marissa Moreland.
Yeah, the job for Tyndall pretty simple. Just keep Southern Wesleyan off the board. She had a quick stint last inning, 1 pitch, recorded the 1 out, able to stop the bleeding in that frame. But it's a different beast when you're entering a full inning of work. You have 3 outs ahead of you to try to earn, and also to keep your team in this game still.
This is Rebecca Lamb. I think this is, we're looking at officially the highest scoring game of the tournament here, John, with 18 combined runs.
I think that ties the 15-3 game, right? Yep. So this is tied for the most runs we've seen.
And 19 combined hits between the teams, 4 total errors, 8 total pitchers in this game. In the dirt.
Well, the good thing for whoever wins this game is that they've used so many pitchers that they will have fresh arms.
Yeah.
They pitched a couple innings here and there, but it's not like either one of these teams used their ace for all 7 innings.
It's been a bullpen game.
It has.
A by committee type of game for both teams. Just looking here, obviously, Southern Wesleyan with a 2-run lead right now. Annika McFarland has thrown the most pitches for the Warriors with 57. On the side for Chowan, it is Emily Fowler who's thrown 47. Lamb in the box, and 3-1.
You do not want to walk the first 2 batters of this inning. Clay Arties are chatting with Rebecca Lamb, who has already earned 2 free bases, a walk and a hit by pitch.
Hawks need a shutdown inning in the worst way, and starting off with consecutive walks here in the bottom of the 6th.
Not what you're looking for. Now, Tyndall has pretty limited experience this season. She's entering today, only pitched 11 1/3 all season. So looks like we'll see a change here, potentially.
Maybe going back to Curry here?
Yeah, we'll go to Curry.
Back to Curry. So Curry, quote-unquote, started this game. Abby Rutledge was listed on the lineup as the starter. A switch before a pitch was ever thrown to Mackenzie Curry. We've seen Junior Bailey do that probably 3 times here in the tournament. And so Curry back out there. She has only thrown a total of 19 pitches in this game.
So she's fresh. Went a third of an inning, gave up 3 runs, all 3 earned, 1 hit, and 2 walks. So a tough start for her, but she can redeem herself here by getting her team out of this jam. If she can keep Chowan, Southern Wesleyan, off the board in the 6th, given the situation right now, no outs and 2 on, that is a huge win for Curry.
So Southern Wesleyan trying to make this even more of a wider margin here before we head to the 7th. Looking ahead, when we get there, it will be it's kind of the bottom of the order for Southern Wesleyan, or for Chowan in the top of the 7th. So Chloe Smith steps in against Mackenzie Curry, who's back out there. Bunt shown and taken for a strike.
Yeah, this is a pretty obvious bunting situation. Even though your batter in Smith has a big bat, you're going to ask her to sacrifice this at bat and just lay one down. Advance these 2 runners into scoring position.
Gets it down. A good one. Close play at first and retired. Smith made that close, but a nice job by Curry fielding her position.
She did. Well-executed bunt, able to advance the 2, and would it have been nice for Southern Wesley if she got on? Absolutely, but the priority there is simply to advance the 2 runners into scoring position to now give Olivia Haig and Abby Schreiner opportunities to drive home at least a run.
With how scrappy Chowan is, you're going to want as many as you can. As Haig fouls that one off. As a reminder, the winner of this game will take on Francis Marion with a berth in the championship game on the line. Haig pops another one up. Foul ground. And 0-2.
Strikeout would be enormous, would eliminate the sacrifice situation.
Haig watches strike 3, and just like you said, John, massive there for Curry.
Oh, that is big time. And Curry, after the lackluster start to the game, can redeem herself and out away from blanking Southern Wesleyan in this all-important bottom of the 6th and keeping her team within just 2 runs in the top of the last inning. But she has to get through Abby Schreiner, who talented catcher and also a talented hitter.
It'll be 9-1-2 for the Hawks in the top of the 7th when we get there. Right now, Chowan focused on keeping Southern Wesleyan off the board. A 1 hit down the line. That will do it. 2 runs are going to score. Schreiner comes up big and doubles the lead for the Warriors.
And given how Chowan can score runs in bunches, those 2 runs are absolutely enormous for Southern Wesleyan. Abby Schreiner had a job to do and comes up big with the hit with runners on base.
It's what SWU's done all day, John. They've just cashed in. They've just gotten chunks at a time as Ware fouls this off. It's now 4 runs in the first, 2 in the second for the Warriors. Didn't score any in the third, but have scored in every inning since. 3 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 2 in the sixth. 12 runs on 11 hits from this Warriors offense.
And the situational hitting has been difference-making today. SWU is 8 for 17 with runners on base. So they've gotten them on, they've brought them home.
And popped foul.
This is a grueling game for these players, a high-scoring game. It's taken a bit, and remember, the winner has to play again right after this game. So
Yep.
that's a lot. That's a challenge.
One ball, two strikes to Megan Ware, who's had a solid game herself, 2 for 3 with 3 runs scored. Ware lines it into left field, all the way to the wall. Another run is in, and Ware has yet another hit. She's now 3 for 4 on the day.
3-hit day for Megan Ware, and Southern Wesleyan 13 runs. So this is now the highest scoring game that we've had in this tournament. And what an inning by Southern Wesleyan. All 3 runs coming with 2 outs. They got the 2 runners on early, then a couple of quick outs, but here they are, adding to the edge.
Abby Lawson in the batter's box. I'm sure we'll talk about it in this next game, John, but really curious to see. Looking like SWU's going to hold on here for the most part, unless Chowan stages a very impressive comeback. Will SWU have enough in the tank against Francis Marion, or will they ride this momentum into this game with the offense, or will there be anything left?
Right. That's what I'm curious about as well, especially facing probably Alyssa Poston, still TBD, but most likely we'll see Poston.
Did see Walling warming up there a few minutes ago, so. And lined right back to the pitcher for the final out. But Southern Wesleyan, they needed some insurance. They got a bunch, 3 runs. Chowan needs 5. 3 outs left in their season if they can't do it. Final inning here in our second game of the day at Tiger River Park. Alongside John Gross, I'm Chris Mangrum for the Conference Carolinas Digital Network. Southern Wesleyan trying to hold on and advance. Alexis Denham will get us started here for Chowan. A 1-0 count here, 9-1-2 here in the top of the 7th. Winner advances to take on top-seeded Francis Marion in our final losers bracket game, our final game of the day, with the winner advancing to the championship to take on Mount Olive. Denham watches strike one. And if Chowan is unable to make it back, they will see their season come to an end here today in Duncan, South Carolina.
So, quick housekeeping note here, Chris. A couple changes in the outfield. Olivia Haig now in left field for Southern Wesleyan, and in right field is Madeline Knopp.
As if there weren't enough changes in this game, John. We need a few more. Some defensive changes here for SWU as they try to shut this down in the top of the 7th. Now 2-2 to Alexis Denham. You've talked about all game, John, the leadoff hitter for Chowan getting on, how important that is, especially when it's the 9 hitter. This is a crucial at bat here.
She's gotten on twice today.
Ooh, close pitch, and we're full.
And look, they're down by 5 runs, so one base runner's not going to cut it. It has to be a consistent string of players getting on. And even if that's a walk, that's fine. You'll certainly take that. Anyway.
Denham, that's one way. Single into center field, and a good start for Chowan.
I mean, this postseason has been Alexis Denham's best offensive stretch of her college career. There is just no doubt about it. So you want to talk about a player who's stepping up in the big moment, somebody who maybe coming into the postseason did not expect to put up numbers like this. It's certainly her. She deserves a ton of credit for what she's done in the 9 spot.
So leadoff single in the 9 spot for Denham. The Hawks with 3 outs to play with. 5-run lead for SWU, but we have seen both teams score 4 runs in an inning in this game. So the Hawks are going to try to make this interesting, fighting with their season on the line. Ava Mazel in the box. Hit out and down into left center. Denham around second, going to third. Got her. Probably an unnecessary move there for Denham to push, as we do see Mazel move to second base. They're gonna review this.
Yes, I think they're going to challenge this. You might as well. I agree with you. I don't think it's worth it to even risk sending her to third. If it's a 1-run game, maybe a different story. But you need 5 runs. So whether the runner's on second or third doesn't make a difference.
You have to wonder if she was sent or just kind of tried to read it herself and get that extra base. Obviously, Chowan is a very aggressive team. That's the way that they live. But in a moment like this, those outs are so precious.
Yes.
And what is that the general rule? Never make the first or third out at third. So unless this is overturned, that's going to be the first of 3 outs for Chowan.
That's tough, and they need that indisputable video evidence to overturn it. Currently being looked at right now up here in the press box. But again, just to me, just not worth the risk of stretching her from first to third. You leave her on second. Again, if it's a 1-run game, maybe a different story. But with nobody out, you're down by 5. You're in the upper portion of the lineup. You just got to keep the runners on.
And credit to Moreland on the throw there.
Great throw.
From center field.
Really good toss.
Ware on the tag.
So, as expected, Chris, they're challenging that out call at third. It's being looked at. Call on the field is out at third.
Now, obviously, you see what our replay folks are looking at are the 2 angles we have, which is the angle you see here, which obviously does not show the play. This is the angle that they're looking at here. So
yes.
we do have it in the shot. So they are now reporting that out to the field, and we'll let the umpires inform us of the call. And the runner is out at third. Call stands.
So there you go. There's the first out. That makes life a bit easier. I mean, think about it. It could have been first and second with no outs, and then SWU's sweating a little bit, but instead you get that one out.
And a steal of third. Safe at third. Stolen base for Mazzell. She's got a bunch of them this year and just got another.
She does. And actually, with that stolen base, she has now tied the most stolen bases in a single season for the conference since at least 2010, which is as far as the record book goes back. So congratulations to Mazzell, over 50 stolen bases in the season. By herself, she has more stolen bases than 9 Conference Carolinas teams.
Caitlin Springle at the plate. It is 3-0. And ball 4. So Springle down to first. And here we go. This is what we thought might happen here. We were made aware that Springle was potentially not re-entered. But it may be that we're just looking at a different pitcher here, so. So it does appear to be a change in the circle. Okay. So Kira Helton will be the hitter. And we've got a new pitcher coming in. So waiting to figure out who it's going to be. Let's take a quick break. We'll tell you more when we come back. All right, new pitcher in the game is Harley Hoffman for SWU with 2 outs to get. Kira Helton at the plate. John, what can you tell us about Hoffman?
So Hoffman's only a freshman. She has not pitched since April 10th, and she's only pitched in 6 games. This is just her 7th appearance of the season, and it comes with her team's season potentially on the line. Trying to pick up these final 2 outs of the game and bring her team one step closer to the final tomorrow. 1.62 ERA, 8 2/3 innings, 12 Ks and 3 walks, so good ratio there.
Runner goes, ground ball, skips around, 1 run scores, everybody's safe. 4-run game.
It'll go down as an E4 by Fulcher at second. So there's still life here for Chowan.
Now you got to think back to that out at third there, John. Just how different this inning feels with no outs.
And 10-3.
Yeah.
10-13, sorry.
Yeah. So Chowan trying to get runners on any way they can. Mackenzie Curry at the plate. The potential tying run is on deck in Calliope James. Chowan trying to fight to the finish here with their season on the line.
Yeah, Chowan's season on the line. Southern Wesleyan was in the region ranking, so potentially could still get an at-large bid, but they don't want to have to sweat it out during the selection show.
Now 3-1. One thing that we haven't talked about is with Mount Olive currently sitting in the championship game, having to be beaten twice. If you're SWU, that makes you feel even more nervous about your at-large chances if Mount Olive steals a spot.
Absolutely. Bid stealer.
3-1. Strike 2. Schreiner thought that was strike 3, I think.
And I guess you can theoretically see a situation where the conference gets 3 teams in. If SWU were to beat Francis Marion and then get to the final, Mount Olive wins it, I think we'd see 3 teams in.
3-2, ground ball right side through. Runner around third. Throw is late at home. It's a 3-run game, and the tying run will come to the plate here in the 7th.
Wow. Chowan does not quit. This team is relentless. Head coach Junior Bailey said his team does not get too low when they have adversity. They don't spend a lot of time dwelling on the bad. They're locked into the good, and they're playing some good softball here in this 7th.
Runners on first and second, and it's Calliope James, 1 for 2 today, and now we're getting into this bottom part of this Chowan order, who has carried the Hawks today. Runner steals. So Helton tries to steal third with Chowan down to their last 2 outs of the season potentially.
Again, I don't understand it. I don't see why you'd go there. You're down by 3 runs with 2 outs to work with, and that is the second time this inning that you've been thrown out at third trying to be over-aggressive.
And that run does not, I mean, it matters, but it doesn't, it's not like it's the tying run.
It wouldn't have been
right?
the tying run. It would not have been the tying run.
So now, scratch that. The tying run now on deck again, and you're down to your final out. And now a strike away from a victory for Southern Wesleyan as they try to punch their ticket to play Francis Marion coming up next for a chance to head to the championship game. 1-2. James into left field, base hit. I hate to belabor the point here, John, but the 2 outs at third base in this inning, my goodness, think of what we'd be looking at here.
Completely different game. It would be at least 13-11 and no outs. So very different story, but Chowan has to deal with the situation that it's currently in. And Heidi Kugler steps in, the go-ahead run at the plate.
Or the tying run at the plate.
Tying run, sorry, yep.
And Chowan has now out-hit SWU in this game. 13 hits for the Hawks, 12 for the Warriors. Of course, they haven't had a bottom of the 7th and may not need it. But impressive fight here from the Hawks nonetheless.
Absolutely. They've battled, coming back multiple times throughout this game.
Kugler is 2 for 4 today. 2 runs driven in. Remember, this is a freshman pitcher in the circle who has not pitched in a while.
15 days last time that she pitched. First time ever pitching in the postseason.
Now 2-1. All the emotions here. And you see the deep breath taken there by Kugler. Feeling the pressure of the moment. Now 3-1. If Kugler can reach, you bring the go-ahead run to the plate. Hope Soria, who's on deck, who has had her fair share of clutch moments in this tournament. Three one, swing, hit out to center. And the catch is made, and Southern Wesleyan survives. 13-10 for the number 3 seeded Warriors. A victory that took them all the way to the finish here.
It was a battle. Both teams showed some impressive offensive prowess, but Southern Wesleyan able to make the plays late. The 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th making a really big difference in this game, and they survived to take on Francis Marion in an elimination game with the spot in the final on the line.
Just 3 teams remain in the tournament. Mount Olive sitting in the championship game. Francis Marion and Southern Wesleyan will play next. One of those teams will take on Mount Olive tomorrow, and we'll find out who that team is in our next game.